Borders aren't always just lines on a map, sometimes they're downright bizarre. You know, you grow up thinking a border is this big, serious thing. A wall, a river, a fence with very serious-looking guards. You cross it, you get a stamp in your passport, maybe they ask you if you're carrying any fruit. Simple. But what if I told you that some borders are so strange, so convoluted, they run straight through people's living rooms? Or that you could literally stand in today and look across it tomorrow? It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's real life, happening right now. It's the kind of thing that makes you question everything you thought you knew about how the world is organized. These aren't your textbook examples of international relations, these are the world's geographical oddities, the footnotes of history that have created some truly mind-bending situations for the people who live there. Imagine having to check which country you're in before you decide which side of the bed to sleep on, or working in one country and living in another, with the border being a painted line on your office floor. It's like the world's most complicated game of Twister but with passports. So, get ready to have your mind blown because we're about to take a trip to the planet's most peculiar places. Today we're counting down the top 5 weirdest borders between countries. We're talking about places where geography, history, and politics collided to create situations so strange, you'll have to see them to believe them. From no man's lands to towns split right down the middle, this is a journey to the edge of what you thought was possible. Stick around because this is going to be one wild ride. Alright, let's kick things off with our number 5, a place that makes your daily commute look like a walk in the park. Welcome to Barl Hertog and Barl Nassau. Now these sound like 2 separate towns, right? Wrong. It's one town but it's split between 2 countries, Belgium and the Netherlands, and when I say split, I don't mean a nice clean line down the middle. Oh no, that would be far too simple, far too logical. This border is pure chaos. It's like someone sneezed while drawing the map, and everyone just decided to go with it. It's a patchwork of tiny plots of land, enclaves within enclaves. You see, there are 22 Belgian enclaves completely surrounded by Dutch territory, and within those Belgian enclaves there are 7 Dutch counter-enclaves. I know, it sounds like I'm making this up. It's like a geopolitical turducken. You could be walking down the street and in the space of 100 feet, you could cross the international border 5 or 6 times. The border is marked on the pavement with white crosses, so you literally know when you're stepping from the Netherlands into Belgium, and back again. There are houses where the front door is in one country, and the back door is in another. And this isn't just a fun fact, it has real-world consequences. For years your nationality was determined by where your front door was located. So people would just move their front door if they wanted to switch countries, maybe for tax reasons. Imagine that conversation. Honey, the Belgian taxes are too high this year. Don't worry, darling, I'll just call a carpenter. We'll be Dutch by Tuesday. And think about the bars. There was a time when Dutch bars had to close earlier than Belgian bars, so patrons would just pick up their drinks and move to a table on the Belgian side of the room to keep the party going. It's the world's most polite, most complicated pub crawl. Coming in at number 4, we have a border that doesn't just mess with your sense of place, but your sense of time. Let me introduce you to the Diomede Islands. There are 2 of them, sitting in the middle of the Bering Strait between Alaska and Siberia. You have Big Diomede, which belongs to Russia, and Little Diomede, which belongs to the good old USA. Now the crazy part isn't just that they're owned by 2 countries that have, let's say, a complicated relationship. The truly insane thing is that they are only 2.4 miles, or about 3.8 kilometers apart. You could probably swim that on a good day, if you don't mind freezing water and polar bears. But here's the kicker. The international dateline runs right between them. This means that even though they are close enough to see each other clearly, Big Diomede is 21 hours ahead of Little Diomede. Let me say that again, 21 hours. So, if it's 9 a.m. on a Saturday on Little Diomede in America, it's already 6 a.m. on Sunday on Big Diomede in Russia. You can literally stand on an American beach and look across a tiny strip of water at tomorrow. Imagine the small talk. Hey Ivan, how's your Sunday going? It's great, Joe. How was your Saturday? It breaks your brain a little bit, doesn't it? This has earned them the nicknames Tomorrow Island for the Russian side and Yesterday Island for the American side. During the Cold War, this was one of the tensest borders on the planet, the Ice Curtain. Today, it's mostly uninhabited on the Russian side, while Little Diomede has a small Inupiat population. But can you imagine the logistics? Planning a meeting would be a nightmare? Let's meet tomorrow. Okay, your tomorrow or my tomorrow, it's the ultimate long-distance relationship, separated not just by water but by an entire day. For our number 3 spot, we're going from a border that creates 2 countries to a place that has, well, 0. Meet Bir Tawil. It's a patch of land about 800 square miles wedged between Egypt and Sudan. And here's the wild part. Neither Egypt nor Sudan wants it. It is one of the few places on Earth that is not claimed by any country. It's a geopolitical orphan, a piece of land left on the world's doorstep with a note saying, "You take it. No, you take it." It's the ultimate game of hot potato, but with a giant chunk of desert. So how did this happen? It all goes back to colonial maps drawn by the British in 1899 and 1902. The first map drew a straight line for the border, putting Bir Tawil in Sudan, but the second map drew a different squiggly administrative boundary, giving Bir Tawil to Egypt, but giving a much larger, more valuable and populated piece of land called the Halaib Triangle to Sudan. Now here's the problem. Egypt insists on using the 1899 map because it gives them the valuable Halaib Triangle. Sudan, for the exact same reason, insists on using the 1902 map. The result? Both countries claim the good land, the Halaib Triangle, and in doing so both countries have to give up their claim to the less desirable land, Bir Tawil. To claim Bir Tawil would mean accepting the border that gives the other guy the good stuff. So it just sits there, unclaimed. A few adventurous souls have traveled there and tried to claim it for themselves, planting flags and declaring their own micronations, which is basically the geopolitical equivalent of calling dibs, but for now it remains a true no man's land, a testament to how stubbornness can literally leave a blank spot on the map. At number 2, we have a border so friendly, so civilized, it runs right through a library and an opera house. This is Derby Line, a village that is half in Vermont, USA, and half in Quebec, Canada. The border here isn't a fence or a wall. In many places, it's just a black line painted on the floor. And nowhere is this more apparent than at the Haskell Free Library and Opera House. This beautiful historic building was deliberately constructed to straddle the US-Canada border back in 1904 to promote unity between the two communities. Think about that. The main entrance and the children's books are in the United States. But the circulation desk, the reading room, and most of the book stacks are in Canada. So, you can walk in as an American, browse for a book, and check it out from a Canadian librarian without ever showing a passport. There's literally a thick black line on the floor of the reading room that marks the international boundary. You can sit at a table with one foot in America and the other in Canada. It's the only library in the world where you can be an international person of mystery just by picking up a novel. And then there's the Opera House, which is on the second floor. The stage is in Canada, but most of the seats are in the US. So you have Canadian actors performing for a mostly American audience in the same room. It's a beautiful symbol of friendship, but in today's world of heightened security, it's also a bit of a headache. There are cameras everywhere, and you're technically not supposed to just wander across, but for over a century, this building has stood as a testament to the idea that some things like art and knowledge should have no borders. And finally, our number 1 weirdest border isn't just a line, it's an entire region that feels like it's in the wrong place. Welcome to Kaliningrad. Take a look at a map of Europe, you see Germany, you see Poland, you see Lithuania, and then, sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania on the Baltic coast, you see this little patch of Russia? Yes. Kaliningrad is a Russian exclave, meaning it's a part of Russia that is completely separated from the rest of the country, surrounded by members of the European Union and NATO. It's like a puzzle piece from a different puzzle that somehow ended up in the box. How did this happen? History, my friends, history. This land used to be part of Germany, known as Königsberg, the capital of East Prussia. But after World War II, it was annexed by the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991 and countries like Lithuania gained their independence, Kaliningrad suddenly found itself cut off from Mother Russia, hundreds of miles away. It's a little slice of Russia right in the heart of what it considers its rival bloc. It's a major strategic point for Russia, home to its Baltic fleet, and a place where they keep a lot of military hardware. For the people living there, it's a strange existence. They are Russian citizens, but to travel by land to Moscow they have to cross through at least 2 other countries. Imagine needing a visa just to visit another part of your own country. It's a geopolitical island, a legacy of the shifting tides of 20th century history. It's a constant source of tension and fascination, a reminder that the lines on a map are never as permanent or as simple as they seem. It's a border situation that defines an entire region, making it our #1 weirdest border in the world. So there you have it, from a town split down the middle to a piece of land nobody wants, and an entire region stranded in a foreign neighborhood. These borders show us that the world isn't always neat and tidy. History is messy, and it leaves behind these incredible, bizarre situations that people have to navigate every single day. It makes you realize that a line on a map can mean everything and nothing all at once. It can separate you from your neighbor, or it can run right through your house without you even noticing. It's a powerful reminder that our world is a complex and endlessly fascinating place. These stories aren't just trivia, they are about real people and real communities living in extraordinary circumstances. They challenge our ideas of nations, of identity, and of what it means to belong to a place. From being able to see tomorrow across a few miles of water to checking out a library book in another country, these borders are living, breathing quirks of our shared global story. They are the exceptions that prove the rule, the glitches in the matrix of international politics, and they are absolutely amazing. What did you think of our list? Were you as blown away as I was by the library that's in 2 countries at once? Or the islands separated by 21 hours? Which border surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. We love reading your thoughts and hearing about other weird places you might know of. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world's geographical oddities, please show us some love. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing facts. Until next time, stay curious.